Welcome to this video. We're going to talk about tags and how to manage the tags, okay? So under contacts, you will find an orange button or a pink button up here called manage tags. Now, essentially what a tag is it's very simple. It's like a post-it note that you're going to stick on a contact to assign some details to them. So ultimately it means you can what we call segment the list. So it means you could send specific messages to specific people based on the specific actions they have or haven't taken based on a tag being applied, okay? So it will become clear in a second when I show you. So if I just click on manage tags, what you'll see is we have some default tags, okay? So what happens is you've got here a default tag of did not watch webinar. So registered but didn't watch the webinar. So now what we could do is send a message to all those people that didn't watch the webinar saying, hey, what happened? You didn't watch the webinar. Would you like to have a call with me? Or would you like to have this bit of content? Or would you like to do this? Or would you like to do that? You know, the possibilities are endless, okay? We then have another tag which says watch the webinar but less than 10 minutes. So now we could target people saying, hey, like you missed the best stuff on the webinar, like, you know, what's going on? Why don't you watch, here's the link again, go and watch it again and see if we can get more people watching the webinar that way. We have a tag here called watch more than 10 minutes. So again, we can now see people who've watched more than 10 minutes of the webinar, knowing that they've engaged and start to warm up a bit more. Now, these are going to be much more hotter people to email or message because you know that they've watched more than 10 minutes of the webinar. So again, you could say to them, oh, did you check out something in minute 22 where, you know, I covered X, Y, Z or whatever. We then got seen CTA, which is the call to action, which is your call booking. On the webinar, but not booked. So this is obviously then people who've watched all the way through to the end of the webinar nearly, but didn't take up the offer of a call booking. So obviously you could easily email those people and say, hey, what happened? Like, you know, is there something not right? Because I thought you might want to have a call booking because we saw you watched all of the webinar. Hope you found it useful. If you've got any questions, reach out to me. So you can literally do any configuration of emails that you want, okay? And then we've got another one here, which is started the webinar but exited. That means they never even kind of got past the first 10 seconds. So these are people that are like your coldest people that, you know, it's not really worth emailing, but they're now on your list. With other things. You could email over time different bits to them, other little links or whatever of useful stuff. But these are the people that kind of opted out before they even got started. So you've got their details, but they didn't watch more than 10 seconds of the webinar. So they're the ones that we have in as default, and they're how we ultimately configure all of the in-between data, if that makes sense, to collate your reports for you about how many people viewed webinar, how much they viewed, how many people booked calls, etc., because we have these tags built into the system. Now, obviously, inside of tags as well, you can add your custom ones. I'll show you how to do that in a separate video in the support area, and also how to assign tags. Now, also what it tells us here is what contacts have been tagged, how many. So how many tags have been applied to each contact. So like this did not watch webinar. I've got 2 people in my system currently here that have not registered but did not watch the webinar. Okay, so that means that they not watched 10 seconds. So we can obviously click on that and actually view the people, view the tag. And obviously kind of it'll then also tell me which the contact is as well. So it tells me kind of which contacts as well from there have got that, okay? So it not only gives me kind of the volume, how many people we've got in what part, but also what actual people they were. So it's very, very clever. So it means you can really start to what I call slice and dice up your list based on the actions and just email or message those specific people knowing full well they've only done that specific task. So really, really powerful stuff. All fully automated, so you don't need to even think about it. But all these tags are assigned automatically based on their behavior and what they do or don't do. I'll talk about custom tags in a separate video, but I want to give you an overview of that. But custom tags are exactly what they are. They're things that you can customize yourself. So you might want to put a different tag on if you sent an email about a Christmas promotion or something, or a downsell or whatever. You could do loads of different tags. Again, possibilities are endless. But the idea is there, you can see here, like I've got test tag imported. So if I've imported people, this one here was imported on 19th of November, so I can see that. If I click on view, I can see the people. I can edit or delete the tag as well. So that's really what kind of a custom overview tag is, okay? So in separate videos inside of the members area, you'll see how the support area, how these tags can be worked and applied and how you apply them, etc., and how you create them. But they're just an overview of what the tagging system does and how powerful it is. And it really is to stop and think about that. You can actually tag people automatically. They get tagged automatically based on what they do or don't do, so you can follow them up accordingly should you wish to. Really, really powerful, but also you know exactly who's done what. Okay, so that's the big thing. It's not just oh, well, here's 25 people with that tag applied. Well, no, you can actually see those 25 people, whether they have or haven't watched the webinar. So, you might get messages from people sometimes saying, oh, I haven't watched the webinar. Well, guess what? You can go into their account and see whether they had the tag applied, that they watched more than 10 minutes or didn't watch more than 10 minutes. It's really quite useful information and very, very powerful. But also the things like the custom tags, you can add stuff in there as well. So you can start working out what that list is doing or not doing, what results your marketing is getting when you're following up via email, etc. So really, really, really powerful stuff indeed. So if you need more help on tagging, please watch the other videos inside of the support area where we'll talk about custom tagging, assigning tags, etc. But that's an overview of the tagging system inside of your contacts template.